Hi everyone, my name is Sunxeke and I am the owner and maker of Glitter with Sunxeke. If you like the content that you're seeing, please like, subscribe, and share. You can also connect with me by Facebook, Instagram, and email. Alrighty everyone, so today we are going to be making two separate tumblers. The first one is the one on the left, which is the blue one, and it is going to show you guys how to do a quick and easy ombre. The one on the right, the pink one, is a way to do an easy waterfall. So I'm going to show you guys how to do both of these, and I will see you in just a second. So we're going to start off with the ombre tumbler. What I've done is I've gone outside and I have spray painted my tumbler this light blue color. I am then going to use epoxy to adhere my glitter. I am just taking a small amount of epoxy and I am rubbing it all over the cup. I want to make it so that when I rub my hand along the cup, my hand just slightly or smoothly glides over the cup. I will get enough epoxy in order to fully cover it, making sure that the bottom and the top rim are completely covered. That way you don't have any glitter missing on those two spots. For our ombre, we are going to be using 4 different colors, all by the Glitter Chimp. The very first color that I'm using is called Blue Steel, and it is a really dark, like navy blue, almost black, but it's a really dark, beautiful blue color. So I am just taking that and I'm coating the bottom of the cup completely, and then I'm taking it up the side of the cup, and I'm only covering 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches in some spots, with really good coverage. I am going to make sure that I have really good coverage of my glitter right there, and then I am going to put my cup down and I am going to move on to my next color, which is Rising Water. So I put away the Blue Steel, and then I get out a new sheet of paper for Rising Water. Nope, just kidding. I keep the same paper. This time I kept the same paper. It doesn't matter. So I'm getting Rising Water, and you'll see that I'm leaving a little gap between Rising Water and Blue Steel. So I want that gap because that's going to be where I build in my ombre. So I am then going to take my my Rising Water and just fill in as much as I want. And it's also about 1.5 inches to 2 inch chunk that I am filling in. Then I will take Neptune. I will do the same thing. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap, and about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of bottle I'm going to cover with a real thick coverage of Neptune. Once I get Neptune on the cup, I will then clean up my Neptune mess and I will grab Baby Blue. With Baby Blue, I start at the very top. You can see at this point I'm struggling. For whatever reason, I could no longer get my cup to balance, so I'm now just going to have to put glitters away one-handed. But I am going to take Baby Blue and I am going to start at my top rim, and I am going to then leave a gap between Neptune and Baby Blue that way. So Baby Blue is going to be all the way at the very top of your rim, just the same way that Blue Steel was all the way at the bottom of your rim. Now I'm going to start working on my ombre. The reason why we left gaps in between was that way take our glitters and we could tilt our cup and have our glitters slide down the side of the cup. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your first glitter color, for me it's Blue Steel, and I am angling my cup at a pretty significant angle, and I am just trying to fill in that blue steel in that gap that we left. Once it's almost all the way filled in, I am then going to switch out my glitter back to rising water. I am then going to open it up, and then I'm going to tilt my cup the other way at a fairly significant angle and let those colors come together and meet. I prefer to do the darker color first and let that kind of fill in, and then I go through with the lighter color and fill it in. And I go back and forth as many times as I need to in order to get the coverage and the ombre that I like. So I poured my glitter back in, and then I realized, oh no, I need to still use this glitter, and I need to sprinkle it going from where Rising Waters is up to where Neptune is. So I take it and I, tilt my cup downwards or upwards, one of the ways, and I let the glitter just fall into Neptune. Now I'm taking Neptune and I'm tilting my cup the other way so that it flows into Rising Water. And I go back and forth doing that until I get the coverage that I want. Now, for Neptune, I forgot to have it go down into baby blue. I accidentally filled in baby blue first. So you'll notice in the final product, my baby blue and Neptune look like a relatively harsh line, and that's not what my intent was. It's because I forgot to do my darker color first that it looks like a much harsher line. It was kind of at this point that I was like, oh, dang it, I did not put Neptune going down into baby blue first. So now I'm grabbing my Neptune again, and now I'm trying to get it into baby blue, but because baby blue is already down, I'm having a hard time getting Neptune to really stick in there. So that's why from my baby blue to my Neptune is a real harsh line, and it's not quite ombre the way that I would want it to. So that's my strategy in order to get a really good ombre. See, I'm trying to kind of fix it and put that baby blue down again, and it's already created that really, really harsh line. And so that was a mistake that I made. All right, so we're gonna let our blue tumbler cure. And while that's happening, we're gonna use Obsidian and Disregard in order to make a custom glitter for this pink waterfall. I am not measuring anything. I'm just kind of pouring Obsidian in and then also pouring Disregard on top. And I am just kind of eyeballing it, figuring out what kind of color I want. I kind of had a color shade in my mind. And so once I get that shade, I then stop mixing glitters and I'm ready to go. The reason why I'm making a custom glitter mix is because I want it to be a pink and a black tumbler, but I want the black part to not just be paint. I still want it to sparkle. And as a lot of you already know, a lot of the times when you are using a black glitters don't sparkle under epoxy. So I just take my favorite white glitter and I just add it to the black in order to make it have a sparkle and a shine. So I will then put away those two colors, and I now have my black custom glitter mix made. I am then going to grab my black cup and I am going to do the same thing that I did with the blue cup. I am going to get epoxy and I'm gonna cover my cup with epoxy. For this tumbler, the base is black, and I'll link that black spray paint in the description below, but I just took it outside and I spray painted it black. I let it dry and then I brought it in, and now I'm going to do my waterfall on it. we are just going to grab our epoxy and we are going to just put a very thin layer of epoxy on this cup as well. Again, you just want enough that the glitter is going to stick to it, but not make that glitter soak into it. Since we're using a kind of a chunkier mix on this cup, you might want to use just a little bit more epoxy, just so that that chunkier glitter has a place to adhere to. So personal preference though, I like to put just a smidge more epoxy on a cup that I know that I'm going to use a chunkier glitter on. I just feel like the glitter adheres better when you have a little bit, a smidge thicker amount of epoxy on your cup. So we are going to take Pink Panther by the Glitter Chimp, and as you can see, I am just carefully going around the bottom rim of this cup, trying to get the best coverage that I possibly can. After I get the bottom of the cup, I am then going to get the bottom 1 to 2 inches of the tumbler with a decent coat of Black Panther, or Pink Panther, I mean, not Black Panther, Pink Panther. And I am just going to go all the way around the cup, and I am going to make sure that I cover up that cup really well with Pink Panther. Now that I have the coverage that I want, I am now going to start working on my waterfall. You can see that I am tilting the cup at a downward angle, and I am just lightly sprinkling my Pink Panther, and it is falling, water falling down the cup. That is exactly what I want to do. When you are trying to do a waterfall, you are aiming for about 1 inch or 2 higher on your cup than where you want the glitter to fall. The tilting of the cup is what's going to get you that waterfall effect. So the steeper your angle, the more waterfall, or the further down your cup your glitter is going to go. So I wanted it to go a pretty significant way down the cup, so I had a pretty good tilt on my cup. After I did this, I realized that this glitter coverage was just a little bit patchier than what I wanted. So I went over to my glitter shelf and I chose out a different glitter, and I believe it's called Wednesday's Pink, I think is what I chose. And I am going to take Wednesday's Pink, Wednesday's Pink, and I am going to put Wednesday's Pink everywhere that I just put Pink Panther. I'm doing this so that I fill in. There were some little patchy pieces where I could still see the black glitter, and in the end result I still see some black glitter where the Pink Panther was supposed to be, and that's okay. I really actually love this cup. It turned out really, really well in the end, so it doesn't matter that I didn't get as full of coverage as I thought or hoped that I initially was going to get. It all ended up working out in the end, but you can see wherever there's a lot of the Pink Panther, I am putting a lot of this other pink, And then I am not, or I don't think that I did ombre, or I did waterfall this glitter just a little bit, just to kind of get a smidge of that Wednesday pink up the sides of the tumbler, right where that waterfall is. Alright, so now I'm going to take that black custom glitter mix that I made, and I am just going to spread it basically all around that I have the black spray paint. Again, I didn't want the top of the tumbler to be without glitter. I wanted the whole thing to be sparkly, but I wanted that stark effect between the pink and the black. So I am going to take the black glitter and kind of waterfall it into the pink. The first 2-ish inches of the cup on the top rim, I coated it heavy in this black custom glitter mix, and then you'll see that I am going a little bit lighter and waterfalling the black glitter down the side of the cup. I want a little bit of that black glitter to go into the pink, but I don't want that black to overtake it. So it's a very fine line, and just do the best that you can. If this is your first waterfall, it'll take a little bit of practice, but you're gonna get it. And every now and then I have a huge dump of glitter that just kind of gets where I don't want it to be. And that's life. That's part of making tumblers, and it's okay. It always turns out beautiful in the end, even if it's not the 100% vision that you had in the beginning. So just do the best you can on ombreing, or not ombreing, waterfalling this glitter down the side of your cup. Hey everyone, as you're watching this video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to my channel, and also do me a favor and hit that like button. So I'm using this little glitter vacuum that I've had forever. I'll try to remember to link it in the description below, to kind of clean up the glitter that I'm working on, because I wanted to go back and I wanted to try to see if I could get just a smidge better coverage of the Pink Panther glitter. And so here I am switching back to my Pink Panther glitter and just seeing if I can get a smidge more coverage, especially there on the bottom. You see that there are a lot of holes where you can see that black glitter. It ended up not really doing a whole lot, but that's okay. It, like I said, it turns out really cute in the end. I just didn't get quite the amount of coverage that I was hoping for when I started the process. I am now going to take my tumbler and I am going to roll it on a sheet of paper. I'm doing this so that I can really push down those chunky pink pieces of glitter. This is going to help a lot in the epoxy stage. When you are working with really any glitter, but especially chunky glitters, you want to push them down as much as you can before you add epoxy on top, because if you have all sorts of glitters poking up, it's going to take a lot of layers of epoxy and it's going to take a lot of sanding in order to get this cup smooth. And my goal is always to use the least amount of layers of epoxy that I possibly can. That way your tumbler isn't incredibly heavy or bulky or doesn't fit in your car cup holders or any of those things. So I just always try to push down my chunkier glitters to make sure that they're not sticking straight up for that next layer of epoxy. So now my cups are over here on my turner, and I put on 2 layers of epoxy and let them cure in between. In between each layers, I went ahead and I cleaned up the rim, and I did a very light sanding on the blue one, but on the black and pink one, I didn't want to sand yet because a lot of the pink glitter was still somewhat exposed. So 2 layers of epoxy, and we'll be ready for our next step. All right, you guys, so it's decal time. I had a heck of a time with the decals. So this decal is not the original decal that I wanted for these cups. The original decal that I wanted was, it said something like, "Remember, we're sisters, and whenever you fall down, I will pick you up." And then in parentheses, it says, "after I stop laughing." That is my sisters and I, we laugh at each other when we get hurt. We love each other, but we laugh when we get hurt. And so I kind of thought that was a really funny decal, and I thought, oh, that would be perfect to give to my sisters. I could not get them to cut out. I either did not cut the decals deep enough, or I cut them too deep. When I went to weed them out, it was a ginormous mess. I wasted hours, and yes, I absolutely mean hours. And I also wasted a ton of vinyl trying to get these decals to cut out. I finally threw in the towel after about 2 hours of just trying my best to not lose my mind with these decals. So I went with a little bit of a simpler version, and I just found these hearts on Cricut Design Space, and the one on the far right is the original decal, so it says a heart with sisters, and then I just made 2 offsets. So the very first layer that you're seeing right now is my base layer, and I used Tech Wrap Crafts gold textured vinyl, and I am just putting that on the bottom layer of my tumbler. I am just slowly peeling off the back, and I am attaching it to my tumbler, trying not to get any bubbles or anything underneath the vinyl. I will then layer the pink on top, and then finally the black. you will not be able to see the whole process of me putting the decals on, because for whatever reason my camera said I'm gonna stop recording because I'm out of storage, even though it's not out of storage. I don't know what happened. It was a very frustrating moment when that happened as well. So so you're gonna see me get as far as the video lets me, and then just know that I followed the exact same process with the blue cup. I put down the gold, then I put down the turquoise or teal vinyl, and then I put the black on top. I will have all of the vinyl linked down in the description below. A lot of this vinyl I actually got on clearance from Craft, so they no longer sell it in the rolls like I have it, but I have been able to find where they sell it in sheets. And so if you just are able to order that whole bundle, or not sure if you can reach out to Craft and see if you can just purchase these sheets individually, but I am telling you, the gold texture vinyl is absolutely beautiful. This pink is absolutely beautiful. The black vinyl is not Craft. It is a 405 that I got from Hobby Lobby that I'll link down below. But all of these vinyls that are from Craft were absolutely beautiful, and I loved using them. The turquoise actually comes on a backing that is semi-transparent, so you can really see what you're doing. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. I'll show it in another video so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. But here in a moment, my video is going to cut out, and so that's that. So here are the cups with the decals on them. You can see how cute they are. I love it. They turned out really great. These cups will need probably 2 to 3 layers of epoxy for their final coats. In order to get this video out in time, I only put 1 coat of epoxy on them and then took their pictures and did all that kind of stuff. But I will be putting at least 1 more coat of epoxy on them in order to get them as smooth as I would like them. But here's the final product. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching me do a ombre and a waterfall glitter tumbler all in the same video. As you can see, they're relatively easy to do, and I really hope that you take these designs and you do what you want with them. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and please hit that subscribe button and also like this video. Thanks guys, bye. You can connect with me on social media with Facebook and Instagram, and you can also send me an email. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. But now it's time for you to watch the video that's suggested for you on the screen. Have a great day. Bye.